Hey everyone, so today we are going to create a cityscape, and a cityscape is pretty much a picture or a space of the city. So first I'm going to start off by creating clouds, and we are going to be creating a watercolor resist when we create our artwork today. So I'm going to use an oil pastel, or you can use a crayon instead, and I'm just drawing the outline of my clouds with a blue oil pastel, or you can use a blue crayon. And then I'm going to go in with a white oil pastel or a white crayon, and I'm going to color in that part of the cloud. So now we are about to do a watercolor resist to create our sky. So in order to do a watercolor resist, we're going to be using watercolor paints. We're going to get some water on our paintbrush and wet our blue paint pretty well. And your sky doesn't have to be blue, it can be any color you want, as well as the clouds. Your clouds don't have to be blue clouds, you can have gray clouds. Maybe it's raining in your picture. But what I'm going to do is now I'm taking my blue paint and I'm just painting over the sky. And to do the watercolor resist, if you are watching me, you can see how I can paint directly on top of the clouds, and that oil pastel is just going to push off the water because oil and water do not mix. And the same thing for crayons. Now wax and water don't mix with that, so you can get the same effect if you're using crayons as well. And after I paint on the blue, I am going to add some purple to my sky because I want to have different colors in my sky. So I'm going to clean off my brush, get my purple paint wet, and then I'm going to go ahead and start adding some purple to my sky. So I'm going to let the blue fade into the purple. So after you paint, you want to let your painting dry. And then after we paint, we're going to create a collage. Now collage is what we're going to be creating our cityscape as. And when you create a collage, all you're doing is just cutting up different pieces of paper and you're cutting up different shapes in order to create whatever you like for your collage to create a picture. Now, if you don't happen to have access to construction paper, if you happen to have regular paper, you can just go ahead and color that on your own. Or if you just want to draw your cityscape with any supply that you want, with any drawing supplies like that, you can just draw your cityscape on here as well. I'm just showing you all how to create a basic collage with this artwork. So now I'm going to go in with a black Sharpie marker and I'm going to draw my buildings out on a piece of construction paper. And remember, if you don't have construction paper, you can use regular drawing paper and draw your buildings and then cut it out. Or if you want to, you can draw directly onto your paper. And whenever I'm using the black marker, I'm just drawing out the shape of my building so that I can cut it out and paste it onto my artwork. So before I start pasting all my buildings, I'm going to draw my buildings first, and then I'm going to arrange them around before I start to glue them onto my paper. So I'm going to draw a variety of buildings, and I'm going to be using different colored papers to add more variety to my cityscape. So right here you can see where I'm going to arrange my buildings first just to see how I like my buildings to look before I actually commit to gluing them down onto my paper. And if you feel like you need to add some more buildings, you can add some more buildings if you like, or if you want to add anything else to your artwork, this would be a good time to do that as well. So before you glue down, make sure that you arrange and just see what you like. So now I'm going to cut up small strips of yellow papers, and these are going to be my windows. So I'm going to cut them up to be like squares. And after I cut out my squares, I'm going to just add some glue. Make sure you add enough glue. You'll see that I didn't add enough glue to my artwork, but just make sure that you add enough glue so that your details don't come up on you. So you can stop right here with your cityscape, or you can add more details. I'm going to go and add a car. So all I'm going to do is just draw just a simple shape for my car, and it doesn't have to be super detailed or super realistic. I just want this to add just a couple extra details just to make my artwork look a little bit more interesting. And after I draw my shape, I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to paste it onto my artwork. So now I'm going to go in and outline all my details with a black Sharpie marker. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. You can just leave it as it is, but I'm just outlining just to make it look a little bit more detailed. And onto the brown buildings, I'm going to add some rectangles to make it look like bricks in the background of it. So I'm going to have a different variety of buildings. I'll have brick buildings and then just plain solid buildings. And I'm going to just draw on my doors with the black Sharpie marker. So now I'm going to add a couple more details. So next I'm going to just add a sun to the picture just to finish it off. And if you want to add anything to your sky, you can do that as well. So if you want to add an airplane or some birds, you can cut that out. But all I'm going to do is just cut out a simple circle for my sun and then add some details with the Sharpie marker to make it pop. So here's the completed work of art. I hope that you all enjoyed watching this video today, and I hope that you all enjoyed creating your very own cityscape collage. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, friends.